Dogs are smarter than they seem, so smart that they can actually sense when a person has been untrustworthy. Well, maybe they can teach us a thing or two, but there are many studies conducted that report dogs can somehow sense human emotions. They know when humans are sad, angry, and they can even sense jealousy. So once a dog has decided that a person is untrustworthy or unreliable, it stops following the cues that that person gives. Very interesting. A study published in the journal Animal Cognition with a team of 34 dogs actually found that they did 3 different rounds to study these dogs. And in the first round with food, they would point at the food to cue the dogs. In the second round, they would put a bowl down and point at the food, but the dogs became aware that there was no food. And finally, in the third round, they would point at the bowl with food in it, and the dogs felt like there wasn't going to be food in the bowl, so they didn't trust the person. I find this very interesting, that dogs are really smart. We know that. We know that animals have senses, and they're very in tune with emotions, but that dogs can actually establish relationships. And so if they feel that you're untrustworthy, they'll move on and they'll find somebody else that they want to have a more intimate relationship with.
I don't need you. Yeah. No, I mean, that's really interesting. I believe it totally. Dogs seem really smart. Sometimes you look at them and you just you can tell they know what's happening. As far as the study goes, I don't really know. It seems like maybe the dogs were just kind of confused. They understand the food, the person, there's a bowl. He's pointing to an empty bowl. He's pointing, what's going on here? Dogs might randomly do things, and then they might mark it down. Like, this one did this one, this one did this one, and then they might gather some numbers. But at the end of the day, maybe the dog is just doing whatever it wants, and it's just confused. But hey, who knows?
So you have a good point. The dog could have been confused, but what they did was they actually went and found another master and someone else to cue the dog, and then the dog started trusting that person.
Okay, well, there you go. Then
so based on the different, master, human, whoever was cueing them and whoever was interacting them, if they felt like they weren't trustworthy, they would not go to the bowl anymore.
Like I said, I totally believe it.
It's interesting. I mean, they could teach us a thing or two about relationships and about trusting people, which I find interesting.
Yeah.
But we know that animals have, really keen senses. For example, when, there's earthquakes and things that happen in our environment, they say that animals can sense it more because they're closer to the ground, or they have 4 paws or legs on the ground, so they're more in tune with the environment.
Birds too, yeah.
Yeah, birds. Well, I find this really interesting, and we want to know from you, do you guys think that dogs may actually be smarter than us based on our emotions? Let us know in the comments section below. Thanks so much for watching The Lip TV, and subscribe to the channel for more.